entertainment news, and in particular, this is my entertainment thoughts on the entertainment industry. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, leave your comments. I really want to hear from you and what your thoughts are. This is my little corner where I sort of like talk about things that I see in entertainment. And there's one thing today that I saw that was quite stunning. I want to ask you a question. What is America's biggest export? What do you think about it? What does America sell the most to the world? Okay, I'll tell you. It's media. America sells media to the world. Okay? Whether it be celebrity, media, news, entertainment, films, America is the mecca of media. You see, when you've got Hollywood, that's where everyone wants to go to make it as a movie star, or you know, you want to make it as a songwriter or singer, songwriter, artist. So Sony Records and all the other big, you've got Motown and all that stuff. America's the place you go to. If you want to make it big, you go to America. Even in the sports world, you hear, even in boxing world, they say, well, you know, I've got to have a fight in America, Las Vegas, Caesar's Palace, and Madison Square Garden. More recently, the Barclays Center in New York. Places where big fight atmospheres, and when you want to make a name in boxing, that's where you go. Basketball, America, the NBA, American football. So America very much controls the media. And I want you to remember this thought, just for a second. Keep this in your mind. Those who control the media control the minds. Listen again. Those who control the media control the minds. Media is a very powerful weapon. You can make a person look $1 million, and you can also destroy them like that. Example that just happened recently, Mariah Carey. They could have made Mariah Carey look $1 million, $10 million, $1 billion. They could have made her look for that New Year's Eve celebration. Let me get my juice out. This is some smoothie here. Wife looks after me good. It's all about healthy stuff. It's all about what you take into your body. Anyway, back to my point. They could have made Mariah Carey look great. But is it in the agenda now to make Mariah look great? Is Mariah Carey relevant in 2017 as she was in 2010? Was Michael Jackson relevant in 2016 or 2015 as he was in 2010? Relevance is one thing. Are you better off dead or alive? You hear the expression, oh, this guy's worth more money dead than he is alive. That's because when they're dead, they can take the property, the intellectual property of that person, and do what they want with it. Because that person's not alive. They don't have rights no more. They don't have their say. So you can do what you want with their property, and you can sell it in any way you want to, and manipulate it and make as much as you want from it, as much revenue as you want from it, and potentially make more money than when they're alive, because you are now going to put 100% into something as opposed to putting 75% into it. So there you have it. So back to my point. Those who control the media control the minds. And you have to understand, those people that control the media, myself included, because I'm part of the media, those who control the media have an agenda. The agenda might be, we want to make the next president look great. We might want to make the next president look horrible. We might want to make this celebrity look great. We might want to make this celebrity look awful. We want you to believe that all these people are terrible, so that if we make all these people terrible, then you're more likely going to have a problem against them. If you look at the agenda of media, it's to bring people together or it's to pull people apart. The people that when you look down the screen, you look on television, you look to television to give you your information, and you're trusting that the people at the other end of the camera are delivering news which is relevant, true, and tangible. But that may not always be the case. It's not about what's true and tangible, it's about what sells. It's about what pays the other person's bills. It's not about the person, the front man, you need to be worrying about. It's the person behind, the top person. What's their agenda? What's their aim? What do they want to portray? History, very important thing when it comes to media, is broken down as his story, meaning that person's story being brought to you. Is it fact? Is it fiction? It's his story. So we take from it what they tell us. His story. So we have a recollection of events that happened. We may or may not have been there. And we take that as fact unless we're prepared to go and do the research into it afterwards. Often to go and do the research into his story can find that it can be empowering to others. It can deflate a lie about a set of people. It can bring about mass change of consciousness when you are able to discover the truth about something that was once a lie, and can destroy a myth. So mind control is very, very, very important for those in media. They can control your mind. They can control what you eat, what you drink, who you associate with, what your thoughts are, impact on people, and what you talk about. Here's an example. I'm in school, right? I'm coaching in a school, and I've got young people as young as 10 and 11 coming up to me and saying to me, "Coach, Donald Trump is bad." And I'm like, "What? Donald Trump's bad?" I said, "Well, hold on a second. What has Donald Trump done to you?" "But he's a very bad man." I said, "But wait, hold on. What has he done directly to you? Or what has he done to you and your family?" "Don't know. Just know he's a bad man." So, you know, if you constantly be pumped messages, parents pump the message, they watch the TV and sit down and say, "This is true." So as sheep, you repeat it, and then you go and say, "Right, it's true." So if you want to take that approach, then how many politicians can you trust and say, "Yeah, he's a good person, and he's not going to bend the rules when they get into power"? But okay, I'm going off on a tangent here. Let me get back to my point. So my point today is, it's not from a religious standpoint, it's just from a historical background point, because I wasn't there. But I'm going to talk about the name Jesus, or Jesus, because the name Jesus itself, there was no J in those days. Saying Jesus, Joshua, or the person that everyone refers to as Jesus. But we're going to use him as the example. And we're going to take him, a person that said he spoke his truth. He said, "I am the way, the truth, and the light." Even if you're not religious, stick with me a second. Because this isn't a religious message. This is just a factual message. I am the way, the truth, and the light. Nobody should get to the Father but me. And he made a lot of bold statements about himself. Jesus made a lot of statements, upset a lot of people, a lot of the scholars, the establishment, who saw Jesus rise, questioned his abilities, questioned his worth, questioned his sanity, questioned everything about him. But they knew what the truth was. They didn't like that because he wasn't playing ball with them. So they persecuted him, they mocked him, they obviously had a form of media to mock him. That media may not have been a television at the time, it would just be talking from one to one, carrying a message. a message of character assassination, and you don't need media to do that. You should well know. And news travels. So you've got this guy who's walking around claiming that he's God. Oh dear. We can't be having that. So all these scholars, who themselves are inflated with their own egos, who think they themselves are bigger than God, won't say it. But you've got somebody in Jesus who's saying, I am the truth, and he's displaying his truth over and over and again, exposing these people, exposing these bench warmers, exposing these people who are getting paid to do a job they're not even doing properly and are full of lies, being exposed over and over and over again. That's not good for business. That's not good for agendas. It's certainly not good for the media. Keep getting proven wrong and wrong again. This person healing people and healing the sick and raising people from the dead and all the rest of it. Oh, we can't be having that. So we've got to persecute him, and in the end, you can't be bigger than the king or the emperor or the president of the country. You got to go, because you are a threat, and you're even a bigger threat if potentially you are not, let's say for argument's sake, politically of the right suntan. You know what I'm saying here. Maybe you may not be white as snowflakes, you may be as dark as coal, and you'll turn around saying these things. It's not good. Well, we have a history of people that have done this, from Martin Luther King. We don't have to go into it, that have been taken out. And let's say, I won't make it racial, because even John F. Kennedy, when he opened his mouth too wide, we all know what happened to him. So there is history. There are facts that back this up. You can look into it yourselves. But here we are in 2017. So you're probably thinking, what the hell is this guy going on about? I'm going to talk about a guy who hit me today. It just hit me like boom. And you're going to say, you're crazy. No, because this message is for any creative out there. Any creative in the artistic world trying to make it out there that is non-white. Okay, I have to put it this way, because this is specifically to the black community around the world. And I want you to listen to somebody who is on the inside, somebody who is at the very top of the ladder, top of the food chain. Kanye West. Yes, I'm talking about Mr. West. Now, media, again, we go back to those who control the media, control the minds. Have you met Kanye West? Have I met Kanye West? Well, some of you who are watching this probably have know Kanye West, and will understand what I'm saying here. Those of you may not. But for those of you who haven't, what is your opinion of Kanye West? What's it based out of? Based off what the media tell you? While the television edit and put things together, make him look like a crazy individual? Out of some of the things that he says? Okay, so here's a man that's claiming that he is a genius, that he's great, that he wants to make changes, and is talking about freedom and justice, and speaking about being on a level playing field, talking about him as an artist reaching a ceiling, and that if there are other people in the world that are non-black achieving such great things, how can he, as a A-star celebrity, rapper, hip-hop artist, fashion designer, quite brilliant, to be quite honest, why can't he have that opportunity to go on and inspire other young black men and young black women and people around the world? Why is it there's nobody, he said, when he's sitting down at a fashion show, that at the end of the tunnel, the big people at the top of the food chain, none of them are black. So none of them are going to give a black man an opportunity to walk through that door. So this message, well, what I'm talking about here is, and if you don't believe me, just look at the facts. Look at the facts. Go do your research. So this is what Kanye West is saying. So Kanye West is saying a lot of things that, okay, let's put Kanye West into two categories. We've got Kanye West, the media structured, or the media's perspective of Kanye. He's out there. He's crazy. He's married to Kim Kardashian. He's a bit wacko. He's a bit out of his sync. He thinks he's God. That's the media. Same media that sells you Kanye West and packages him together to be this celebrity, and the same media that are tearing him down. Can only rise so far, and then no, you're going above your plate. You're going above your station, and we got to pull you down. So, with that being said, they'll mock him. They will say things about him that will make people kind of demean him, and then you see things where they overstep the mark and they invade his personal life and personal space. So therefore, you who's watching this, who may sit down and say Kanye's a madman, well, if it was happening to you, you'd probably react the same way or worse. It's very easy to call somebody mad, stupid, and dismiss. It's very dismissive to do that. It's because you don't really want to take the time to understand where they're coming from. But somehow, when you're in that industry and you're trying to make it big, and you're trying to break through and get to the same place where Kanye is, like Kanye can't make it, but I can make it. But Kanye's having to stand up against those who don't want him to be that icon, that iconic person. So what would it be if he was a strong black man that was positive, that was outgoing, that was articulate, that was the head who was breaking things down and being a leader in fashion and hip hop, and was changing things around? What if he did that? Well, that would affect the agenda of what the media is. But you need to know what the media's agenda is. If you can understand what the agenda of the media is, those who are behind the cameras and pushing the buttons, then of course you have to understand the media and people who want to stay in good jobs, the PR people and all the rest of the behind the scenes. What are their agendas? Obviously, they want Kanye to stay in check. So here's the correlation that comes between Jesus and Kanye West. Kanye West is speaking about freedom, justice, equality. Kanye West is talking about one believing in oneself and being the best they possibly can be. Jesus was saying the same thing. Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the light." Kanye West is saying that he is a genius. Okay, the two people are their correlations there. Both being persecuted for what they said. Both upsetting scholars or establishment. Both being persecuted for it. Both great wonders would have been Jesus' time, whether it be the ministry and what he had. He had a ministry in terms of saving people's lives and ministering to people in that sense. That was Jesus' ministry. But Kanye's ministry is music, hip hop, entertainment. Jesus wasn't here to entertain. Jesus wasn't there to entertain. Kanye is. So they're two separate categories in terms of what they're doing, but they're still interacting with people. So that's where the lines become parallel. And while you may sit here and think, this guy's a bit crazy, I want you to go and look at the interview, and I'm going to post it in this. I'm going to leave it in the description box. Kanye West opening up and speaking very honestly and openly on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. And you can see on the Jimmy Kimmel Show, basically, he exposes the whole entertainment industry, how it works in the eyes of a black man, through the eyes of a black man. Not through the eyes of a white man who's successful. We're not talking about that. So, in that sense, it's through his eyes, what he experiences as a black conscious man. So that is my thoughts there, and about Kanye West. A genius indeed, being persecuted for speaking out. For many of you artists out there that are too scared to speak about it because they're scared of losing their paycheck or losing their position. I'm out here. Love to know what you think. Rate, subscribe, leave your comments. I'm out. Take care.